Daniel's a mortgage broker who helps everyday Australians build wealth through smart property finance. With over 5 years in the game and a reputation for turning complex lending into clear strategy, Daniel is passionate about helping clients make confident moves without last-minute chaos. In this session, he'll share why stressing out your broker isn't just bad form, it can cost you real money and missed opportunities. Please welcome Daniel Sciberras.
Thank you, Cade. So we don't have a lot of time, we'll get straight into this. So, long and short of it is get a pre-approval. That's what I'm going to dedicate this whole presentation to, essentially. So, what is a pre-approval? It is a conditional green light. It's not something that's guaranteed. It means the lenders looked at your situation, it looks about right, but that's it. They haven't run it through a credit team, they've just run it through their initial calculators, and they've looked at all your documents to make sure that they're happy with those documents too. There's no inconsistencies with your name, they've verified your ID, that sort of stuff. It does not factor in a deep credit level of understanding. Gives you some confidence, and they usually go for about 90 days. They're usually valid for about 90 days. So, something is going to go wrong when you buy a property and you're getting finance. I can almost guarantee you of it, and these are some almost guaranteed delays. So, first one here is discharges. So this is more applicable if you're refinancing as part of a purchase. Usually you get formally approved, all that sort of happens, and then the bank says, we're going to be anywhere from 10 to 30 business days to process a discharge of your loan. Now, we are in the modern era where technology is ever so present, so this is BS, but if you're my client, I can help you and coach you through this sort of stuff. If it happens to be that the vendor, so the seller of the property, is having this challenge, well, I can't coach that person because I don't have contact with that person. This is a realistic, or something that happens time and time again that adds delays. More often than not, we're seeing people get sent to a solicitor. This could be for independent legal advice, or it could also be just to complete something as simple as a statutory declaration, and we'll go a little bit further into that. Lenders are short-staffed, so particularly in smaller banks, they might only have 30 or 40 staff total. And their credit team, especially these newer neo-banks that are very technology-centric, their credit team might only be 5 or 6 people. So if they're a little bit sick or something goes on where 2 or 3 of the staff are away, which is quite possible, their service level times are going to blow out dramatically. And sometimes you've already put the application in when this happens. And definitely not going to spend too much time on this, but you probably, formatting's going to be weird. You probably won't listen to the email regarding insurance. Insurance is something that needs to be done extremely specifically. So if I look at this one, for example, because I can reach it, it says, please note that Perpetual Trustee Company Limited, and it's in quotation marks, is noted as the mortgagee on title. That is verbatim. It's got to be letter for letter, capital for capital. If there was a full stop in there, there has to be a full stop in there. More often than not, I tell people this up front with the designated insurance amount too. Then they get frustrated when I have to get them to redo it, and their insurer just isn't available to drop everything and sort it out. This could add an extra week delay if I've got a client that, particularly tradies, that just don't really want to know about it, and they're like, yeah. So it could add an extra week of stress for nothing. So, delays increase stress levels, the whole theme of this, and we're going to spend the remainder of this in story time. So this is one we're doing right now. It's for a BNI member. They're purchasing in a remote rural town, and because it's in a rural area, the valuer can only get out there once a week. The tenant has been sick twice, so that's 3 weeks on evaluation. Completely out of our control. This one, for another BNI member, we refinanced a property that they had purchased 20 years ago as part of a purchase. They purchased this property 20 years ago before they were married, so it was solely in their name. And they are of a certain ethnicity, so their name is a little bit difficult, and a lot of people sort of get this wrong, especially if you're on the phone, people are typing your name in. And they've had this property mortgaged maybe 5 times in 20 years, going from different banks. And this time around, the bank said, hey, your name on title is not the same as your name on the driver's license. So we had to fill out a 10CN. Who knows what a 10CN is? I'm looking at my solicitors. Solicitors don't know what a 10CN is. I had to find that out. It's a change of name form. So we had to change their name on title to match. That took a bit of time because no one knew how to do that, the solicitor included. We also needed 2 statutory declarations. One statutory declaration to confirm that the different names were the same person, and one to confirm that the partner, or the wife, understood that she was taking out a debt on a property that she didn't own for a property that they were purchasing. This one, second-time investor, bought a $515,000 property that was getting $670 a week in West Gladstone. He was super excited about it, and I begged and pleaded with him, please get a 2 to 3 week finance clause. He decided to listen to the real estate agent, and the real estate agent said, just go for 7 days, mate, and we'll try and get a finance extension. So this was an LMI deal. It was that it means there's lender's mortgage insurance, so there was less than a 20% deposit. The way that LMI deals work is they've got to be improved in-house, and then they've got it like from the lender, and then they send it off to the specialist insurance team, and they have to approve it as well. West Gladstone was treated as a mining town, or an area that had a decent economic breakup from mining activity. So as a result, that sat with the insurer for a week. So the total approval time was 2.5 weeks, and I had this big tough tradie from the suburbs calling me almost crying every single day. So please get a finance clause, please get a pre-approval. That's the point in this story. This one, just did this one and we're going to run out of time, but I'm going to go for it anyway. First home buyer, self-employed, 3 people. So there was mum, dad, and an adult child. And because of that, they required independent financial advice and independent legal advice. That way they weren't being taken advantage of, the adult child or the parents. And I put there, they lodged their own tax returns. Now that immediately didn't raise any red flags, but then we'll get a little bit further into it. We got it formally approved on a Friday, and they said, I want to settle within 7 days. So they brought their settlement forward against my advice. Yeah, I know. I'm having increased hearts right now. So they decided to do that, and I was like, please don't. And they did it anyway. The morning of settlement, and this was end of financial year, so just a few days ago, it was fresh. The morning of settlement, end of financial year, solicitor calls me up and says, hey, we can't find the independent financial advisor, which was their accountant, because it can be a financial advisor or an accountant. We can't find them on any financial advice registry or any tax practitioners board. I went, okay, that's a bit strange. So I go back to the client. Client says he's CPA registered, the accountant, but he's not on the tax practitioners board. I said, I didn't know that was possible. But we go to the solicitor. I tell the solicitor that. They say, cool, it'll be all good. They come back to me a little bit later and they say, oh, we can't find their CPA number anywhere. I go and get the certificate, send it over to the solicitor. They said, all right, cool. Some more time passes. They say their CPA registration's actually expired. So I go back to the client's accountant now direct. I say, I need you to renew your CPA registration. Like I'm dealing with a client now, we've got to sort this out. So yeah, this is 4 hours on settlement morning. And there's proof. I've blurred out their name. He had to pay $1,000 and I had to show proof of payment to the solicitor. That way he could get his CPA registration. So we've definitely run over time. If you're interested at all, I could tell you about how I had to negotiate with the EPA on this one. It was a 48% interest loan for $750K. So it was costing them way too much. And I can tell you about this one, how we had to negotiate with the ATO and JP helped us out. There are many, many more reasons that aren't exciting, which we can talk about as well. And long and short of it, please get a pre-approval. Please get 2 to 3 week finance clauses. Please aim for 42-day settlements. Engage buyers agents. This is how you're going to keep your hair, keep your partner happy, run your business, all that sort of stuff, so you're not super stressed. Thank you so much.